I was really not even sure where to start or what I was doing.
Even in high school, like I know a lot of people of my friends, like they had an idea of what they wanted to do and like they were pretty set on it. But I didn't really have that same like security.
I felt pulled apart in a bunch of different directions. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do or what schools would fit for me.
It's just kind of going through the motions. I didn't care about anything I was learning in school. It was all just like an everyday, just dragging routine. And I felt like I was just going to be stuck in this rut forever.
I didn't like talking about college at all. So I just kind of pushed it out of my mind.
I had kind of gotten myself into like this situation where it was too late to do anything about it, where I was just going to have to accept it and try and find a job that I might only care about just because it's a job. So that was kind of a tough spot to be in, especially being in your third year of college already. But that did eventually change after I watched your webinar. And my mom had us speak.
I was like, well, how is this supposed to happen? Well, I take a test and then it tells me like what I'm supposed to do. I didn't like register that as working in my head.
After we spoke on the phone, my whole outlook on college kind of changed because I realized that there's so much freedom in it and you're not just roped in to one single thing.
Well, I love having like tasks to complete and having some kind of goal at the end. And so this was really helpful to like narrow down what the steps I needed to go through to make a decision.
But then after like walking through all the steps and actually being involved in it, it was you asking all the right questions to get me to figure out like on my own kind of what I wanted to. That really helped.
Well, I definitely learned a ton about myself, especially even just like the questionnaires that we did the first like week, I think it was. And then just as we went through and as I did the Highlands Ability Battery, I just kind of learned why I learn the way that I do, which I think is a big thing I knew that was a huge thing for myself, but I think that for other students too, that could be a huge tool because I feel like a lot of people, especially college kids, may not understand why they don't pick up on a subject like that when a classmate can understand it, no problem.
When it was testing me, I didn't really understand why it was testing me on this certain thing or another. Like what exactly was it trying to evaluate? So that made it a really interesting test, and it actually did confirm a lot of suspicions I had about my abilities and my character.
I think the Highlands Battery test, I think that really helped me a lot because it told me some of the stuff was like stuff that I already knew about myself, but I didn't really connect it to like what I would want to do like in my future.
After I did the Highlands Ability Battery, it really highlighted for me that I actually am more of a creative person who needs kind of an outlet to express and maybe not just a by the book.
Just being able to look at different careers, like instead of just having ideas of what I want to do, like seeing like actual jobs that I could choose from, that was really helpful.
It had to do with kind of more out of the box puzzles and solutions that were a little fun to do as well as challenging.
And just like seeing like in reality, like how much money you would be making if you did that, or how much schooling that you would have to go through if you wanted to do that. It helps me like really just kind of like a reality check, like do I really want to do that?
Like with the assignment that we just did was the matrix where we discussed like how to objectively figure out what the best major is. I was able to it really, again, it kind of confirmed my suspicions that I would do well in computer science.
I can definitely see that this is going to be a better fit for me and that I'll be one of those students who can really shine in this field as opposed to being the person I've been where I've just been afraid to speak up and ask questions and be myself. Because I even noticed that like when people ask me what my major is, I want to talk about it more rather than before. I like to kind of skirt around the topic and not talk about school with anybody.
And just like you're always prepared for like everything, and everything is always really well done. And now I'm gonna go to Florida and do media and
You know, it's becoming clearer. Like things are becoming clear, and I'm really glad about that.